Shalom, shalom, Israel. It's Brother Za'aba Yahweh. Coming back at you with another cold cut. Let's give our honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, man. So the topic of this cold cut is going into prophecy, man. Isaiah, the 19th chapter. Right, getting into Isaiah, the 19th chapter, the end days of America. Right, the Lord's going to shut down this place, man, with a mighty arm and a strong hand, man. All right, without further ado, let's hop straight into this thing. Right? Let's go back to Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1. I'm going to read for you about this.
Okay. Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 1. The burden of Egypt.
The Lord say?
The burden of Egypt.
Right, the burden of Egypt. The bad news of Babylon the Great. The bad news of America. It's the burden of Egypt is the opposite of the tidings of Zion, man. Right, that's opposite of the gospel. The Lord doesn't have good news. He has bad news. Right, you know?
The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be removed at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of.
So the Lord said he's coming back in a cloud into Egypt. What does that mean, right? Let's go to Exodus chapter 40, verse 31. It's the same cloud that was over our people, right, in the wilderness. Right, it's the same cloud that was over our people. We got to figure out what this cloud is, man. All right, because the Lord's coming back in a swift on a cloud. Right into Egypt. Let's prove that.
Exodus 4 and 31.
40. Yeah, 40 and 31.
Oh, 40 and 31.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see what the Lord coming back with, man. Because the Lord coming, they'll say there's no spaceships and UFOs aren't real and these different things. Well, let's see what the Lord is gonna do. Right?
It's Exodus 40 and verse 31. It says, and Moses and Aaron and his sons washed their hands and their feet therein when they went into the tent of the congregation, and when they came near unto the altar, they washed as the Lord commanded Moses. And he girded up the court round about and about the tabernacle and the altar, and set up the hanging of the court gate. So Moses finished the work. Then a cloud covered the tent of the congregation.
Then a what?
Then a cloud covered the tent of the congregation.
All right.
And the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. And Moses was not able to enter in the tent of the congregation because the cloud abode thereon, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle.
Read on.
And when the cloud was taken up from over the tabernacle, the children of Israel went onward in their journey.
So when the cloud was taken, it was hovering over the camp or the tabernacle of our people, and then once it would come up, then our people knew to keep going. Read on.
But if the cloud were not taken up, then they journeyed not to the day that it was taken up. For the cloud of the Lord was upon the tabernacle by day, and fire was it by night.
All right, all right, go to 2nd Ezra 15 and 15. So the cloud, when it was over our people, we knew not to go anywhere. As soon as it hovered up, then our people knew to keep going in our journey. This is the so-called UFO, the so-called white man tells you not to believe in. It's in the scriptures. This is called a cloud. All right, let's get another precept that will prove that.
2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse number 15. It reads, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and destruction draweth for this sword and destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. Right. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Right.
A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able, for because
that's not what I want. Go to the book of Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 8.
Isaiah chapter 60 and verse number 8. Who are these that fly as cloud, and as the doves of their windows?
Right, see that's going into the chariots. Isaiah is describing the chariot. Who is these that fly as a cloud, right? As a dove to their window, man. So those clouds are going into the UFOs, right? That the Lord's coming back with to destroy America with, man. So the Lord's coming in on a swift cloud. I mean, he even tells you that. Go to Matthew chapter 24 and verse 29. You're going to see the Son of Man coming into heaven, right? With a lot of clouds, right? Start verse 30.
24 and 30.
Yeah.
Okay. It's Matthew chapter 24 and verse 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of Israel mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
See that? So the Lord's coming in with power and great glory on those clouds, man. Not talking about the cloud in the sky, man. Right? Those clouds are symbolic, right, for the chariots of the Lord. Right? To prove Egypt is America. How do you prove that Egypt is America? Well, you know, he's talking about literal Egypt. You know, this already happened before. No, this is talking about America, man. All right, go to the book of 2 Ezra 15 and 10. All right. 2 Ezra 15 and 10. Let's see what the Lord is talking about.
2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse number 10. Behold, my people was led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before.
The Lord said he's going to smite Egypt with plagues as before. So this couldn't be talking about the old Egypt. This has to be a new Egypt, right? Which country is going to get hit with this plagues as before that the children of Israel are going to be saved from? Let's talk about America, right? Go to Revelations 11 and 11, 11 and 8. Right? Break it down verse by verse, man. Precept upon precept. Let's see.
Revelation chapter 11 and verse number 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
So this Egypt is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. It's going to have a lot of homosexuality, fornication, bestiality, right? And it's going to be the same place as Egypt as it was before, with the children of Israel being in slavery. That's America. It means look on the back of your dollar bill. It's going to tell you that plain as day. Go to Deuteronomy 28 and 68. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. Let's discover what this Egypt is.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse number 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So this new Egypt is going to be where the children of Israel brought in on ships. And we know that that's America today, man. So the Lord's coming back into America with the UFO, right? Wisdom of Solomon 5:1 shows you, hey, guess what? They're going to be amazed by the strangeness of our of the elect's salvation, right? So go back to that in Isaiah 19 and 2.
Isaiah 19 and 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
City against city and kingdom against kingdom. So the Lord's going to be setting people against each other. The Lord didn't come back to make the Father one with the Son. He came to set a man at variance with each other. It tells you that in the Gospels, man. In Matthew, the 10th chapter, right? Luke, the 12th chapter. The Lord's coming back to set people against each other. Go to the book of 2 Ezra 13 and verse 30, man. Let's prove that. The Lord's not coming back for everybody to hold hands. The Lord's not coming back just for people to be everybody on one accord. It's not what's about to happen, man. Right? You Christians, if you think that's going to happen, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. Read that about yourself.
2 Ezra 13 and 30. He shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, one realm against another.
One city against another, one people against another, one realm against another. Meaning you got this, you're going to have Yahweh Bashim Ashah fighting, and the angels fighting the so-called white man. And you're going to have cities against cities, kingdom against kingdoms. The Lord tells you that in Matthew, the 24th chapter. It's about to be bad on earth, man. Nobody's going to be on one accord in that day. All right, go to Isaiah chapter 13, verse 15, Bible Kasha. There's nobody going to be on one accord that day. Nobody's going to know what to do. Everybody's just going to be fighting each other, man. There's going to be all manner of chaotic and hell on earth.
Isaiah chapter 13 and 15. Every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
Right.
Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished.
And this is what's coming to America. Everyone that shall be found shall be thrust through, man. People are not going to be holding hands in that day. All right, real quick, go to Matthew chapter 10 and 21. People not going to be holding hands. Your neighbor not going to be opening the door for you, talking about, how you doing? Why you got some sugar at your house, man? Right, it's a beautiful day we had it, man. No, he's going to kick the door down, take your sugar, and he's going to tell you it's a bad day, right? Go to sleep, right? We're going to put you to sleep. All right, read that.
Matthew chapter 10 and verse 21. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death.
Right, and shall what?
Cause them to be put to death.
So that's what the Lord's coming back to do, is causing a child to be put to death by his father and vice versa, man. Right, the daughter against her mother, right, and all types of manner of hell, man. So go back there in Isaiah chapter 19, verse 3. This is what's about to happen when the Lord comes back.
Isaiah 19 and 3. And the spirit of Egypt shall fall in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the chambers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards.
Right, because isn't that what ancient Egypt did? Didn't they go to their wise men, their monthly prognosticators? Didn't they go to their charmers, man? Weren't they turning the damn staff into snakes too? Weren't they turning the river into blood too through their witchcraft and sorcery? This is what America does on a daily. Through witchcraft, propaganda, sorcery. They put music in your ears, man. They do all types of manner of familiar spirits in hell to try to fight the Most High. But is that going to work? All right, go to Isaiah 47, verse 9. All right, let's see if that works. Let's see if the Most High, kind of written that. Let's see the prophecies. All right, let's see.
Isaiah chapter 47 and verse number 9. It reads, But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, and one day the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness.
What the Lord say?
For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness.
They're going to trust in their wickedness, we don't.
Thou hast said, None seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee.
Right.
Thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me.
And that's what they say, because they trusted in their sorcery. They trusted in what they had, right? Their technology. I mean, the Lord said in Ezekiel 28:3, right? Thou art wiser than Daniel. Because there's certain things the so-called white man made happen through the witchcraft and sorcery and the knowledge of Satan that no other kingdom has been able to fulfill. You have a 3,000-pound flying object going country to country in the sky. How do you do that, right? How do you make certain things happen? A damn gun, man. Who makes these types of things, these machines, right? Hey, guess what? That's the so-called white man for you, man. Trusting in witchcraft and sorcery. Go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon, 13 verse 10. These are the things that Esau does, man. All right, and this is the thing that America produces. I mean, the other nations call America the Great Satan. Why do they call America the Great Satan? Because they know that this place is full of satanic symbols. I mean, you go to a concert, you come back bugged out. All right, read that.
Wisdom of Solomon 13 and 10. But miserable are they, and indeed, and in dead things is their hope, who called them gods, which are the works of man's hands, gold and silver to shew art in, and resemblance of beasts, or a stone good for nothing.
Good for what?
Good for nothing.
It's good for nothing. The works of men's hands, the resemblance of beasts. They idolize beasts here. All right, read on.
The work of an ancient hand.
All right, the work of an ancient hand. Go one more. Go to the book of Ezekiel 21 and 21. All right, so let's talk about America, man. I mean, what other country really propagates this on a mass level, on a high level? All right.
Ezekiel chapter 21, verse 21. The king of Babylon stood at the parting of the way, at the head of the two ways, to use divination.
To use what?
To use divination.
You know?
He made his arrows bright. He consulted with images. It's like he looks and delivered.
Right, he looked and delivered. And they do that on the left-hand side. When you read the book of Tobit, chapter 6 and verse 6 down to verse 8, we looked and delivered on the right-hand side, man. So they're doing it in wickedness. They trusting in Satan. This is what the king of Babylon was doing. This is what the king of Babylon is doing all over again, called America. Right, go back to Isaiah 19:4, Bible share.
Isaiah 19 verse 4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king and rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts.
Right, that's going into Yahweh Shem Yahshua. He's going to rule over. Go to Luke 19:27. Going to rule over Egypt. He's going to give the final blow to America that they was looking for, man. That they weren't looking for. Right, he's going to destroy them upon their bed.
Luke chapter 19 and verse number 27. It says, but those my enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me.
Yeah, so the Lord's going to reign over Egypt, man. Right? Go to the book of Isaiah 32 and 1. All right? He said, bring hither and then destroy them before my face. It's the type of Lord that we have, type of Lord that we serve. All right?
Book of Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 1. Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment.
Right.
And a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest.
See that? So, hey, that king is Yahweh Shem Yahshua. So we'll go back to that Isaiah chapter 19, verse 5.
Isaiah 19:5. And the waters shall fail from the sea, and the river shall be wasted and dried up.
And what does that mean? The waters shall fail from the sea. The river shall be wasted and dried up. Meaning what? What are the waters, man? Right? The knowledge and wisdom, man, of the Lord. I mean, that's Ephesians 5 and 26, Psalms 119, verse 9. We know what the waters are, but the Lord said that's going to be dried up, man. There is no water knowledge of the spring is going to be dried up, man. All right, go to the book of Job, chapter 12 and verse 14. All right. The Lord's going to take back his knowledge and wisdom from his land. The Lord's going to take back all knowledge and wisdom, even common knowledge.
Job chapter 12 and verse 14. Behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again. He shutteth up a man, and there can be no opening. Behold, he withholdeth the waters, and they dry up. Also he sendeth them out, and they overturn the earth.
See that? So the Lord can dry up the water, and guess what? It's going to be a spring shut up. Ain't no knowledge and wisdom coming out of this land called America. Ain't no, nobody's going to know what to do when this time is going to hit, man. Go to Zechariah chapter 14, verse 8.
Zechariah chapter 14 and verse number 8. And it shall be in the day that living waters shall come out from Jerusalem, half of them toward the former sea, and half of them toward the hinder sea. In summer and in winter shall it be.
So this is the opposite of what's going to happen to America, man. Meaning in that day, the children of Israel are going to be giving out the knowledge and wisdom to the other nations once they're ruling in righteousness. But as of right now, the Lord's going to withhold the waters, and guess what? And the river shall be wasted and dried up, man. That's what the Lord's going to do. Right? Go to the book of 2 Peter chapter 2 and 17. Bible Kashah. No knowledge and wisdom will take place in this dry land. It's going to be a desolate. It's going to be a wilderness. I mean, if you've seen the book of Eli, it's a good movie, a prophetic movie. If you've never seen it, you should watch it. Right? Guess what? He wanted the scripture so bad because the scriptures has the knowledge and wisdom. It has water. But everything in the land was dry on a physical and spiritual level. I read that.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 17. These are wells without waters, clouds that are carried with a tempest, to whom the mist of darkness is reserved forever.
So there are certain men on the earth that are their wells without water, meaning they can't hold any knowledge and wisdom in their heart. Right? They can't contain any or hold any knowledge and wisdom in their heart. So let's go back to that Isaiah 19 and verse 6.
Isaiah chapter 19 and 6. And they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of defense shall be empty and dried up. The reeds and flags shall wither. The paper reeds by the brooks, by the mouth of the brooks, and everything sown by the brooks shall wither, be driven away, and be no more.
So what is that talking about? right? The brooks shall wither away. The paper reads by the brooks and the mouth of the brooks, and everything sown by the brooks shall wither. So everything that looks like it has root, everything that looks like it has a solid foundation, that it can't be overthrown in America, that looks like it's going to be established, the Lord is going to destroy that, man. The Lord, anything that's sown or have foundation in the society will be uprooted, man. That's what the Lord is talking about. Go to 2 Ezra 16, verse 30, man, for sure. Right? The Lord's going to uproot this place that looks like it has a solid, strong foundation. The Lord's going to overturn that, man. All right?
2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 30. Or when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard.
Right?
Even so, in those days, there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword.
Right? So this is what it looks like when a society's been uprooted, man. You got people searching houses with the sword. America looks like it takes root. America looks like it's going to be here for a long time. I mean, the debt ceiling's already been hit in February. I mean, the U.S. Treasury's about to run out of money by June, July. Right? The economy's crashing at a high level. The Lord's uprooting the society in a mass level. So we can go back to that in Isaiah chapter 19.
It's Isaiah chapter 19 and verse number 8, right?
Yeah.
Verse 8. The fishers also shall mourn, and they shall catch angle into the brooks, and the brooks shall lament, and they that spread nets upon the waters shall languish. Moreover, they that work find flax.
Right.
It's like, moreover, they that work find flax, and they that weave networks shall be
So
confounded.
what does that mean? All these men, the fishers, right? They that work find flax, right? They're going to lament language, right? Well, guess what? They're going to be, they're going to be confounded. The reason why is because there's not going to be no work in America. You know how many people are losing their jobs? They said estimated 3-4 million people next year will be out of jobs, man, be out of work. That's a lot of people in America that's not going to be working, man. A lot of homeless people, man. A lot of unemployment checks. That's what that means. That's going to continue to crash the society. They're going to be confounded. There's no work for Egypt, right? I mean, there's no exports going on, man. All the farmlands, all these farmers, they're not going to have any work, man. China just bought some corn from South Africa for the first time in the history of the U.S., man. Right? Go to the book of 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 45. There's not going to be, if you're a CEO, if you're a sanitation engineer, if you sweep sidewalks, so if you make billions of dollars, guess what? You're not going to have a job. You're going to be unemployed.
2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse number 40. Stop. 2 Ezra 16 and verse number 45. And therefore, they that labor in vain.
What the Lord say?
And therefore, they that labor in
So
vain.
you're going to be laboring in vain in that day. You're not getting a check. They that labor are going to labor in vain, you know?
Reading on, for strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captive.
And then that's what's about to happen. And you're going to be laboring in vain. You're going to labor, stock up all that food just to die and give it to somebody else, right? Go to the book. Actually, jump down to Isaiah 19:15.
Isaiah chapter 19 and verse number 15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do.
There's not going to be any work for this land called America. The unemployment office is going to wrap around 3-4 times, man. Right? There's not going to be any work to do. Go to the book of Ecclesiastes 12:3. So precept upon precept, we're breaking this down through the Spirit. May do a part 2, man. Right? But we got to understand what this is talking about, man. What's coming to the earth? Well, what is the Lord actually going to do? The Lord is speaking in code the whole time. If he didn't go precept upon precept, you would be confounded. All right,
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 2. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, and the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened.
The grinders are going to cease because they are few. When there's not a lot of people working jobs, the rest of those people that was working those shifts tend to usually quit because it's too much work. You have to have a certain amount of people to do these certain things, man. Right? They would shut down restaurants because there's not enough workers. They would shut down mechanic shops because there's not enough workers. The grind is going to cease because they are few. All right, so let's go back to Isaiah chapter 19, verse 10.
Isaiah chapter 19 and 10. And they shall be broken in and they shall be broken in the proposed thereof, all that makes sluices and ponds for fish. Surely the princes of Zoan are fools. The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish. How say he unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of the ancient kings.
And that's what the so-called white man does. The so-called white man will portray himself as the son of God. He's to say, I'm the son of Pharaoh. I'm the son of the wise. The ancient kings, Aristotle, right? Leonardo da Vinci, right? All of these people, right? What's that other Edomite's name? These Greek philosophers, they all say they're the wise ones. They come up with the knowledge and the wisdom. The Lord said, how are you going to say that? You can't even figure out why your kingdom is being destroyed the way it is. The princes of Zoan, right, and the councils of Pharaoh goes into Esau, man. This is Zoan today. Go to Obadiah 1 and 8. All right. This is Zoan, and this is all these things again on the earth, man.
It's the book of Obadiah, chapter 1. And verse number 8. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom?
See that? The wise men out of Edom, you know?
And understanding out of the mount of Esau? And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
See that? So the Lord's going to destroy the wise men and the princes out of Zoan or Edom, man. It's another name for that, right? So go to the book Isaiah 47 and 10. All right, the Lord's going to destroy these wise men. So your Secretary of State, your Department of Education, the Department of Education is not going to educate you. Just to say that. You know?
Isaiah 47 and 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge and hath perverted thee.
Thy wisdom and thy knowledge have perverted thee. They thought to know something they didn't, you know?
Thou hast said, I am, and none else beside me.
And that's what they say. They said they are the Most High. They are the sons of the ancient kings. Their wisdom and knowledge have perverted thee, man. All right, so go back to that in Isaiah chapter 19.
Isaiah chapter 19 and verse number 14. It says, the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst.
Verse 12.
Verse 12. Verse 12. Where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what the Lord of hosts hath proposed upon each.
Hey, guess what? The Lord talking his stuff. The Lord said, hey, where are your wise men at? Where's your kings? Where's your monthly prognosticators? Why are y'all not looking to deliver anymore? Let them know what the Lord is going to do to your country, man. And they're hypocrites because they can figure out everything else. They talking about the year 2030, the year 2045, the carbon dioxide rate is going to be up 10%. The sea levels are going to rise 35.6%. Y'all talking about all of these percentages, but y'all can't see your kingdom is falling before your eyes, man. They're hypocrites, man. And the Lord said, where's your men at? All right, what's going on here? All right? What you not tough no more? You know, in the fight, hey, they start talking stuff. Right? The Lord's going to be talking his stuff in that day to America, man. Right? And that's what the Lord's going to do, man. Right? So this is part 1 to Isaiah the 19th chapter. Right? We're going to do a part 2, Lord willingly, soon. Right? Going into the burden of Egypt, man. Right? We like to give all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Lord willing, he is edified through the Spirit, man. Lord willing, come back with part 2 very soon to finish up this chapter, man. Lord willing, you took good notes, man. Like to his brother Zawa Yalla.
Marquas.
Right, left a bit of mighty strong. Shalom.
Shalom.